Hello there, welcome along to Hive Live Extra, your place for all the exclusive post-match reaction and analysis following Watford's EFL Cup exit. This evening they have lost away at Rodney Parade to Newport County by 3-1. And here to talk through the game with me, it's welcome back to former Hornets striker Tommy Mooney. Tommy, there's no sort of tiptoeing around it. It was a disappointing night on the whole, but I suppose for Vladimir Ivić, on the positive side of things, it was a chance to really take a look at this squad once more and the depth of the players that he has.
Yeah, I don't think too many that played tonight will be involved on Saturday. So, again, whether it be for experience value for the younger players or fitness value for the more senior players, then I think you still have to take the positives out of the game. Spells in it, they played okay, made some disappointing errors, but nevertheless, it was a 90 minutes under everybody's belt.
We'll take a look at things in a little bit more detail shortly, but first let's take a look at the goals, and here are the highlights.
Josh Sheehan, he runs over it. Cooper belts it high towards the far post. Sierralta heads it away, but the referee has pointed to the penalty spot. Referee Breakspear spotted a pull in the penalty area. Up comes Abrahams, left-footed, sends Bachmann the wrong way, and sends Newport into the lead here. Tristan Abrahams with his third goal of the season. Calm penalty into the bottom left-hand corner as Bachmann dived to his right.
There's an awful lot of similarities with last week's game at Oxford here. You know, reasonably even start, and then Newport have got straight into the game. And
another cross into the Watford box, headed away by Sierralta. Running to the edge of the area, Labadie! It's 2-0. Josh Labadie scuffed his earlier effort but made no mistake from the edge of the penalty area that time. And now Garner out to the touchline, and Pussetto running at Shepherd. Pussetto comes into the penalty area and goes down, and Watford have a penalty. Positive from Pussetto. Alberto Pereyra then up against Nick Townsend. Chance to halve the deficit for the Hornets. Pereyra right-footed. Down the middle as Townsend goes to his right, and Watford are back in the tie. Alberto Pereyra has his first goal of the season, just his second goal in English football, and the substitutes have made an immediate impact. 8 minutes played in this second half. Newport County 2, Watford 1.
Excellent, just what we asked for at half-time. Good desire.
Here's Sierralta on the edge of the Watford penalty area, finding Daniel Phillips. Under pressure from Labadie. But he gives it straight, and under pressure gives it straight to Armand. Armand into the penalty area. Armand with a shot. It's 3-1. Padraig Armand restores Newport's 2-goal advantage.
So Tommy, before we take a look at perhaps some of the positives we might be able to take from tonight, let's look at where it went wrong. At half-time, we picked out particularly, it looked like Watford was struggling in possession. What do you think the problem was there?
Well, I think Vladimir Ivić changed the shape, and it was far more suited to the players that were on the pitch in the second half. So they managed to keep possession in the middle of the pitch. Garner and Phillips got on the ball more, and then in wide areas Pussetto and Sinclair got more possession, and Pereyra was busy in and around Pereyra. So I think the shape worked better in the second half, although as much as we thought we were getting back into the game, we'd let it slip.
Yeah, I mean, on that note, I think so much of tonight, when you look at the positives, was giving experience to those younger players. And in commentary, I think you used the word cruel, didn't you, on Dan Phillips, for him to be sort of dispossessed in the way that he was to give away to the third goal. But it will be a big lesson for him.
No, absolutely, and it's important. Tonight he won't be thinking about the positives from making that mistake that got them the third goal and essentially killed the tie. But I think when you look at the bigger the picture, and we've already said that this cup competition, because of the short pre-season, is being used for fitness levels and the learning experience for the younger players. I think there was positive straight away. Like I said, he got the ball 3 times in the same position and never made the same mistake. And mistakes are fine if you learn from them. And I think that Dan Phillips has certainly learned from that, and it'll stand him in good stead for his career.
And on the subject of mistakes, I must mention the sending off on our part. Stipe Pereyra so late into the game as well, and now he's going to have to sit out that suspension at a really critical time for Watford.
Yeah, it is. A straight red is horrible. 3 games, and without another cup game next week now, that's 3 league games he's going to miss. So really difficult, and I think it was one of those where he was just feeling for his man. He's felt for his man with a bent arm, which looks like an elbow. I've seen it many times, been involved in them many times, and I don't think there was any malice, but nevertheless, you can understand why the referee showed the red card.
Well, as you know, we're all about exclusive content here on Hive Live Extra, so now it is time to get the post-match thoughts of the head coach. Here's Vladimir Ivić.
Vladimir, your record in Israel suggests you're not used to losing and don't like losing. How much does this one disappoint you this evening?
Every game, when you lose, it's not good for no one. That means we are disappointed after this game because we stay out of the cup, and we need to continue. We need to work day by day to improve our game. We cannot be satisfied with the game how we played today, and the reason is because our team didn't work on the way how we prepare the game. Other teams were better, and they won the game.
Very slow start to the game. Why was that?
I cannot tell that we are afraid or something, because don't forget that we play today with a totally other squad. If you compare with the game 3 days ago, that means when you change 9 or 10 players, you don't have time to work with them, and normally some things it was not good, especially with the ball, and it's not the first time that we don't start the game in a good way. How we prepare, we need to find the reason why what's happened. What is the reason, and we work on this, and we speak with the player day by day about that, and we cannot be satisfied after this game. Turn now, think about the game on Saturday, and to prepare the team to fight for the victory in the game on Saturday.
Did you say anything to Pereyra afterwards about the sending off? Did you see it?
I have seen from the bench there where I said I believe that he's put his hands up, but I'm sure that he doesn't want to do it. He doesn't want to kick the player, because a lot of times when you jump, your hands must be up, and sometimes you have contact with other guy without that you want to do it. I think it's by accident happened.
Just finally, important to forget this one very, very quickly, because a big game for the club on Saturday.
I agree. Yes, it's important to forget it. It's important to turn off and to think just about the next game.
So the post-match thoughts of the head coach Vladimir Ivić there. And Tommy, I just wanted to pick up on a couple of points he said actually. He talked about the youth in our team, but actually said the main reason we lost was simply that Newport were better. But in the next breath said that Newport wanted it more. I suppose the two things kind of go hand in hand though, right?
Yeah, and his honesty is refreshing.
Yeah.
Because that's very, very clear to see that Newport certainly started the better and wanted it more. But we said for Newport, that's their biggest game of the season. That possibly sets up a tie against Premier League Newcastle next week. So they knew that was a massive game for them. And for some of those players that want to play at a higher level, that puts them in the shop window. And, I think it's like I say, really good that the manager's accepting that it's not the inexperience in the team. Yes, it's a weakened team, but it's not the inexperience, it's the fact that Newport wanted it more.
So do you think it's fair what he said?
100%, completely agree with him.
Yeah, okay. Let's not spend any more time then perhaps dwelling on tonight. There is a huge game just around the corner on Saturday. We've mentioned it a few times tonight on Hive Live. Just the small matter of the local derby, the first time we've faced Luton in more than a decade. I imagine there will be a bit of concern amongst the fans that a performance like tonight can find its way of bleeding into Saturday. Tell us about your experience in a Watford dressing room. Is there any chance that can happen?
No, there's no relation whatsoever. Tonight was a weakened team. It was a young squad, and the older players needed fitness work. Saturday's team will be completely different. The dressing room will be different. The atmosphere in the dressing room will be different. There'll be a group of young men that are right up for this game against Luton. It doesn't matter where you're born, you know where your team, where you're wearing the badge on your heart, who their rivals are, you know it. And they've had 3 games on the road, so they'll be looking forward to coming back to Vicarage Road in a familiar dressing room.
Yeah, that's very true. And Craig Dawson, as we heard from in the flash interview just after the game, whether he's involved or not, he even found the time to mention in that interview he knows how much this game means to this club, and he's not been here very long either.
No, exactly that, because everybody knows. The difference is you're not going to have the people in the stadium. We know that and we accept that. It's disappointing, but there's a bigger picture, and that's the reason why we're doing this. But everybody will be tuning into the game and looking forward to the results, and the players will know that, no doubt.
Yeah, they certainly will. Well, hopefully they'll be tuning into Hive Live, because we will be here on Saturday for a jam-packed hour of build-up as Luton Town come to Vicarage Road for the first time in more than a decade. We can't wait for the games. Do make sure that you join us from 11:30 on Saturday morning on Hive Live. We look forward to seeing you then.
Don't go anywhere, click here to subscribe.